Good afternoon, grade 7. Today we start off with the last of the unit that we have for our semester 2 syllabus. That's rocks, minerals and soils. Now, this topic is a part of the study of science that we call geology. Okay, get my word, it's not zoology is the study of animals. This is geology, Geology. Now, geo is anything to do with the earth and logy or logos is to study. So, please open your course book to page 104 and 105. We start with the picture of rocks. This is the picture. I'm sure many of you have seen such types of rocks in and around you or the pictures. Now, the solid mineral material, the solid mineral material that forms part of the earth's surface are called rocks. So what are rocks? It's solid, it's made up of minerals and it is forming part of the earth's surface, or it covers the earth's surface, and it's called rocks. So the scientists who study these types of rocks are called geologists. Now, what are these rocks made up of? These rocks are made up of minerals. So the constituent particles are the minerals. So we can say that minerals are the materials that the rocks are made up of, and every mineral or each mineral is made up of one chemical substance. Yes, its chemical composition is very specific and it is made up of one chemical substance. Sometimes in some rocks the minerals are formed. They form the crystals. Now, a little more about the rocks. The rocks can be divided broadly into three categories. The first one is sedimentary rocks. Sediment is layered. So one after the other, different layers of particles are joined together or attached due to maybe sometimes pressure or heat, mostly due to pressure. They form sedimentary rocks. The second example is igneous rocks. Now, igneous rocks are formed generally as an after effect of volcanoes. So the molten lava that comes out of the volcano, it cools down and then we have the formation of igneous rocks. The third category of rocks is the metamorphic rocks. Now, metamorphism is the phenomenon where there is a complete change. There is a complete change of the nature of these particles. So it's known as metamorphic rocks. So these are the three categories of rocks that we have: the igneous rocks, the sedimentary rocks and the metamorphic rocks. Sometimes in some rocks, the minerals, they can form crystals. Now, this is an example of a rock that's quite commonly used in our homes, maybe to make the kitchen table or in the washrooms for the wash basins. Most of you have granite at home. I will show you its use also. Yes, this is how it looks, and I'm sure at home you have used this granite rock. Okay. Now, what is the peculiarity of this? This is a rock and it is made up of three different materials. What are these materials? These materials are quartz, feldspar and mica. What are these? These are quartz, feldspar and mica. Now, coming to the last part of this topic, it is soil. What is soil? Soil, you can see at the picture on the right hand side of your textbook on page 105. This is where our plants grow. So this soil, what is it made up of? It is made up of very small rocks and minerals. And it also has remains of plants and animals and dung. What is dung? Dung is nothing but the animal waste. Okay. Now, all materials from living things is called humus. What is it? All materials from living things is called humus. The particles in soil are of different sizes. In soil, they are of different sizes. Now, we have sand particles. Sand particles are huge or large, and the clay particles are small. Just look at this picture. The sand particles, so depending upon the types of particles, obviously you can understand soil can be classified into two types. One is sandy soil that has lots of large sand particles, and clay soil that has lots of tiny clay particles. Clear? Okay. Now, if you look at the characteristics also, sand, you know, will never stick to each other, and clay will always stick to each other. Clay, you can talk about the normal clay that we use for molding also. Clay is sticky. Sand particles, you try to stick them to each other, it will not stick. So that's the basic difference. And later on, I will, as we learn this topic, I will explain to you what or which kind of soil is good for plant growth, and why we can't have growth in the sandy soil, or why the rice needs a clay soil. Okay, it's a nice and interesting topic. So that's for today. Now what I want you to do is, please, question number 1 to 4, do this as your homework. It's very simple. I hope you've understood. This is a introduction to a nice branch of science, that is geology, and many of you can think about geology as your future plans. It has got a lot of scope later on in life. Okay, thank you and God bless.